What it do? This is the monthly Air Tribe report for Scorpio season 2025. Shout out to those of you guys who've joined right on time. We're going to break down Air, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Yes. Show this brother some love, y'all. Hit that like button. Ain't no reading like a PD reading. A P, the stealer of your P's. Whether you mean P or P's. You know it. What you may not know about is a 30% off sale. Can you believe that? All my consultations and reports are 30% off for Scorpio season. How would you miss a deal like that? That's crazy. Okay. Can we start with some music? I was actually thinking of starting this show with some music, but I know a lot of you want me to just some of you kind of tune off when I put the music on. You come back after the music. I keep the music for the ceremony. So this next full moon, we'll definitely start with some music. Thank you, Ashura. All right. Aqua's going to be soaring through the ground this season, especially the party in Aquarius. Hi, all air people. All right. Moderator to marketer. I was about to say, yeah. Thank God to all the Aquarians in my life. I have my North Node and MC in Aquarius. You guys have just constantly come through. Even the people who sent me those donations for the e-bike, which I didn't even ask for like that. You guys just came through. One has an aqua sun, the other has an aqua moon. Like Aquarius, throughout my whole life, you guys have just come through for your boy. You guys have constantly pointed me in the way of my destiny. And shout out to the Pisces too. You guys are the Pisces risings, the Pisces moons and sun. You guys have definitely just been very divine. That's the word that comes to mind. I'm thinking of a word that comes to mind, but pretty awesome. Shout out to Capricorn. Shout out to all of you guys. Okay. Yeah. So we're going to break down the air signs and their relationship to this Scorpio season. Once again, for those of you that want a background as to the significance of this Scorpio season, more with like the transits, I highly recommend watching my monthly peace report. That will be public for the rest of the week until it's back to member exclusive. But other than that, okay, let's talk to the know-it-alls. Okay, all right. If you're an Aquarius watching, I need you to say, I actually do know it all. I mean, or rather, we don't know anything. It's all God, right? But yeah, tonight it's on. I think we are at the precipice, and I think I kind of allude to this a bit in the monthly peace report, but everything about this Scorpio season is very instrumental into pushing us through that edge and really having us compound the breakthrough we've been building not only for a decade, 3 decades, but relatively recent, like over the past 6 months. Okay. Even as of now, Mercury is opposite Uranus. So I think that's going to be amazing. All I know is that I don't know nothing. And that's why I love double negatives, because you did say you don't know nothing, right? Versus I know nothing, but it's cool. It's cool. I'm in the same way. Psych. I know I'm sexy too. I know I'm probably one of the sexiest people ever to exist in life. I'm so sexy, I kind of gotta look bummy. I have to look ashy and bummy so I don't be breaking hearts left and right. I can't be too attractive out here in these streets. I literally have to keep myself inside just so I don't be just mesmerize people. All right. So yes. Thank you. I do see November as a extension of this turning point. And I like that you said since 2020. That's beautiful. What a Gemini thing to say. Yes. No, really. I do. They're very entertaining. They're awesome. This word conundrums like such. And I don't think I've ever used word conundrum before. I want to use word conundrum more as a sentence or as a word or as a whatever. All right. So that being said, yes, save the best for last. Because yesterday we started with Capricorn. I was thinking, should we do the same? But we go save Aquarius for last. So that being said, let's jump right into this. We're gonna start with Gemini. What degree? Okay, I'm switching back and forth to IG. So if I miss some of the IG comments, thank you for being patient with me. An air sign just told me how they really feel, so I'm all ears. Nice. My North Node degree is 8 degrees Aquarius, and my MC is 9 degrees Aquarius. So, okay, Gemini. Let's actually talk about Uranus that is completely coming out of your sign. Okay. Next year, we're going to have the conjunction with the Sun and Uranus in Gemini, about like 1 degree. It's going to be shortly after the new moon in Taurus. So it looks like us having the new moon at the end of zodiac signs is going to carry us through all the way until and throughout May of next year. And let me show you what I mean by that. We're going to have this new moon at the end of Scorpio. The only new moon we had at the beginning of a sign was Virgo, where we had 2 new moons. So we're having this new moon at the end. If we go 6 months from now, we'll see that we also have another new moon at the end of Taurus. And activating these cycles at the end of the zodiac sign give us the peak level of this. Ooh, we got Mercury too. Ooh, that's lit. And then we're going to have the Uranus conjunction. This is after Sun, Neptune, Saturn. This is by next year. GTA 6 may have come out, and a whole new world of degenerates. I mean, a whole new world of technology is going to be amongst us. I can't wait. That being said, you know what I mean? Uranus going through your sign is so awesome, especially given the 12th house unconscious values that you have had to release physiologically, with which have been under your nose. It's not anything you'll think about. Planck-led constant activity, right? That has been slowly changing the idea around how you even think or what you even think about yourself. What's really cool about this sequence is that I think a good part of 2024 and 2025 was to introduce like a forward and introduction of a book, things that you didn't think were possible that you're starting to facilitate real time yourself. And that's not even limited to just Geminis, but given that, especially Gemini risings, you're embodying this is going to be very amazing coming into these new cycles to highlight you into what this is going to look like, especially when Uranus starts quickening supernatural qualities of the physical properties of your own thoughts. All right. Mental physics. Gemini, especially Libra and Aquarius too, but Gemini, I want you to research mental physics or think about mental physics. That's something that's going to be, I don't know anything about mental. I'm not a mental physics expert, but I would hope to be over the next few years. And I want you to experiment, think about it, knowing that there'll be greater knowledge moving forward. The physics of your thoughts and your mind. And I think it's more than that as well. This is going to be increasingly more noticeable coming into next year. And now your ruling planet Mercury, I know Virgo claims Mercury as well, but the opposition, it is a co-ruler, the opposition to our planet ruler, okay, shout out to Virgo, opposite Uranus, is going to really take into account, if we look back 6 months ago, we did have the king of the gods stunting through Gemini. Okay. The king of the gods leveled up Gemini land. I don't know if a lot of you have been to Gemini land. It's really one of the only free admission places. It's not bougie like Virgo and Sag where it's invite only. Everyone can come to Gemini land. It's an all age event type of thing. And yeah, Jupiter expanded our facilities. So like we talk so much more. I mean, we have so much greater ideas. And now relative to that, you sound like Aqua. I don't know anything about it, but they the experts. So with that being said, now that Jupiter's in Cancer, right? The 6 months since that period, Mercury finally being in your 7th house is going to show you how much you have evolved. It's going to, in a subtle way before next month when you're going to be aware of it, how you're processing bigger picture information and how that applies towards others. I like to say Sagittarius and Gemini is show and tell. If you have a lot of Sagittarius, you're very meaningful. You're showing people stuff, but maybe you don't always know how to put it into words. If you have a lot of Gemini, all you do is talk, but maybe you don't always show it. That's me. I don't have Sag, I don't have Pisces or Virgo. I just have Gemini. So I demonstrate with the explanation. But if you have a healthy balance of Sag and Gemini, you're showing and you're telling. And now, this Mercury going through Gemini, Sag, I think is going to be a huge game changer to carry forth the initial innovation of the self-concept of your own idea of yourself and how you will begin to see what that looks like towards others, from others, with others. Then Mercury will retrograde. You'll begin to reevaluate that. And then as Mars breaks through here, this is going to change the game subtly on how you even see you take actions with other people. Could also bring a bit of aggression towards you. So Mercury and Mars that are rounding up through your 6th house in Scorpio, or through that 150 to 180 degree angle across your sun or moon, is going to integrate this psychoanalytical transformation of your behavioral patterns that will really serve to radically innovate values. You'll manifest and release old values that no longer align, especially for those of you who are accepting your angelic nature. This is where we're going to get even crazier with the sci-fi, okay? Because I do maintain, yeah, we're in human bodies or physiological body meat suits, but like angels don't need sleep. Angels don't need to eat, okay? I'm going to sleep tonight and I'm going to eat tonight. But like that being said, open up to that idea. I want to push ideas that will sound very radical now, but will discoveries may be made, right? Coming into the rest of the century, especially how far off is that to think where technology is science. When I say scientists say, I'm going off of social media posts and memes that said scientists said this. So asterisks, but scientists say that, human beings are going to live longer and they may have cracked the code of immortality. And that's what makes me interested about Pluto Virgos. Pluto Virgos born in like the early 60s to 70s. I think they're going to be the biggest generation we have so far. I think they're going to be the first generation to actually live longer than older generations, like considerably longer. All right. Shout out to Maryland. So yeah, and we're all right. We're all angels, right? So with that being said, to my messengers out there, this innovation of your idea, I don't even say your character, the ideas that constitute your self-expression, right? As Mercury and Mars really oppose this point, I think that is a quintessential trigger point for you. I want you to look at this week and I want you to look at next week as a definitive change in Libra. If you're a Libra watching, if you're Aquarius, Sun, or Rising watching this, we're going to talk about this for you guys very soon. but with a different perspective, a different angle here. But I want you to see this as a shift, a forever shift in how it is you even speak to people. I think you're a lot more clear on what it is you want to really demonstrate to people. And for those of you who've been, your word is your wand. This is going to be massive in breaking through what you say and what happens, especially with the retrograde. The retrograde is reevaluating the adjustment of your own perception to make you aware of phenomena that has existed since before you were born. But with these respective cycles, you've unveiled layers and nuance through these patterns to maybe redefine and reimagine how you even understand things. And this is where, research institutions and all the decades and centuries of knowledge that have been compiled, pseudoscientific and legit, all come together to exponentially break through everyone together. Okay, for better or for worse. Very vague, but I'm putting that out there so that you can experience how this really forms itself very realistically as well. To live longer, dang, does that mean I have to save more money? Great question. Hopefully this coincides with free energy revolutions to where they finally unveil that, oh yeah, you guys never had to pay gas and you never needed oil. We could have used water and other such technologies, but then how would you pay us so much money while we get richer and you get poorer? Come on. I love that theory. That being said, I think that if you think about what Scorpio season is for you, Gemini, Scorpio season is the firmware update that transforms your awareness around your lifestyle and your work, that you will show people when it breaks through opposite you in Sagittarius, the realm of the gods. I'm going to officially call this Sagittarism. Okay. And if there's any Sagittarius here, that being said, okay, Venus is going through your 5th house. Oh my God. And Venus with the grand air trine, right? Pluto in your 9th, awakening celestial knowledge that is transforming your philosophical approach towards science. And Uranus that's innovating the supernatural nature of your words and your idea of self is now integrating, polishing with Venus in the 5th, this nature of how you are demonstrating the expression of your ideas socially towards others. So that really works well to shoot your shot. That really works well to connect platonically or romantically with other people. Okay, that's a beautiful, I love synchronicities like that. And if we talk about the grand water trine with now Sun in your 6th, Saturn and Neptune in your 10th house of career, this is going to be exceptionally true for Gemini risings, and Jupiter in our 2nd, baby, we get money. Oh, literally though, this is liquidity on a whole other level. Everyone's getting rich, and that might look like you're struggling and you're becoming poor, because the whole thing about that is it's not as simple as you're getting more money. The whole point of this end of the old world and coming into the new world, which we're seeing, hits in the economy, we're seeing hits in tourism, the very basis with which people come into wealth, I want to believe, is transforming forever. So it's not so much as you're getting more money, you're quite literally transforming the way you even establish wealth, which I hope, it could look like a depression over the rest of the decade, but I want to be optimistic. And I think next year, everyone is getting rich. I think we're going to have record high numbers of millionaires and billionaires. Don't ask me how, because then I would have to get into the details and stats, and that just might not look as hopeful. But magic hand wavy BS, boom. I really do think it's more gaining independence from traditional avenues of and systematic approaches of that. And yes, it feels like communities coming together is part of the wealth. Yes, that as well, which is very Aquarian, right? Gemini is going to be the individual ideas. Libra is going to be the bridging of these ideas socially, linking back to the humanitarian Aquarius. So with Saturn and Neptune in your 10th, it is shifting and reevaluating your belief systems around success. And the North Node is unlocking this experience. Thank you. You are the money around what you're meant to achieve. That links with Jupiter in your second. Jupiter is going to retrograde 30 to 60 degrees from your sun moon, second house as a Gemini rising. And this is going to be actively expanding your emotions around what you feel you're worth, what you feel you worth. All right. It's going to be expanding how much money you get. But the reason why I'm saying that is that might not look like you're getting more money. That might not look like you have an extra 15 million in the bank. That might look like your businesses are failing, but you're not even aware how you're starting new things that down the line will net you long-term wealth forever. You might feel like that. You get what I'm saying? So like that might start to look like that next year, but now as we're clearing the old cycles, this is really more so pushing you in the direction towards a whole new world of liquidity. And now that is linking towards how do we take this expansion around what we feel we're worth and transform our lifestyle and transform our behavioral patterns, which links back to the 10th. Okay. And I think that's going to really go a long way relative to, of course, aligning this sense of cohesion. That's the coolest thing about Scorpio season, regardless of your zodiac sign. It's going to bring this sense of cohesion and flow, right? Like, for example, Scorpio is my 6th house of work and lifestyle. Did I get that part-time job I was looking for? Honestly, I stopped vigorously looking, but I did start door dashing. And I got an e-bike, son. So like I did, in a sense, activate a new lifestyle. And there's some other private stuff that I kind of set in motion. So it's amazing. For me, I've seen personal experience of my 6th house being activated, which is what I love about astrology, because I didn't plan it that way. It's not like I started the year off like, I'm going to wait till the sun is in my 6th house to get a new job. No, it literally just happened. Like my behavior around how I'm forming my day-to-day is transforming. I'm working out more regularly. Again, I put that in quotes. So like, yes, it's beautiful. Of course, how many times have I said that? But that being said, what this puts you in a position to do is not only realistically prepare for the climax of breakthrough, but you're not even aware how immortal you're becoming. Thank you. Ashley, you're killing it with these comments. Shout out to Aquarius. But it's also putting you in a position to, with Mercury going into Sag, change the way you look at other people. Okay. And with the North Node in the 10th, it's very important. Like, that's the coolest thing about having, especially for Gemini risings, because for the suns and the moons, it's just squaring your sun. So you're going to be aware of these shifts relative to your goals, but what house that falls in will really color where it's happening. For Gemini risings, everything you're meant to achieve is unlocking. Like the whole mutable Pisces is changing the experience of what success is going to be looking like. Then it's going to go in Aquarius and you'll know what has happened. So that's very reassuring. It's pushing you not to really give in to any delays, but to just keep, not relying on external circumstances for you to feel like you're doing the right thing. Okay. And yeah, I think that's going to be very fun. Chiron in the 11th is going to challenge with Venus in the 5th, how you translate these vulnerabilities with the right people so that you can be more authentic in your connecting with others. And by the time, once again, Mars and subsequently later Lilith goes there, it's going to get spicy. So look forward to that. The full and new moon will really play a number in releasing unconscious habits so that you could really live the lifestyle that's purely for you. But keep in mind, that's going to be starkly different from next year, where you start the next cycle. Okay. And right, and that's awesome. And now you're going to be forming new lifestyles based on this new cycle, new world order next year. So this is about shifting your behavior while we're wrapping up like an entire old world. All right. That being said, let us shift to Libra. Libra. Okay. Hey, you heard it here first. We're going to see Colby Barrett on Joe Rogan, and he's going to be trolling Joe Rogan. All right. And Joe will probably know he's trolling or not. I'm calling it right now. So, with that being said, okay, Libra Sun, Libra Rising, progressed or natal chart. Let's talk about the grand water trine, and we'll talk about this for Aquarius as well. Shout out to the projectors, baby. I'm a 4-6 projector. I still don't know how to make sense of the lines. But that being said, the grand water trine for Libra, unlike Gemini, where Scorpio is their third stage integration, Libra, Scorpio is your second stage activation. Every time we talk about Scorpio for Libra, I will always talk about this. That being said, Gemini, we got the juice. Argue with your mom about that. We not argue. We got the motherfucking juice. But Libra got the sauce. Okay. And I say that because Cancer is the juice. Scorpio is the sauce. Science doesn't even know what Pisces is. No one knows what Pisces is. Yeah. I mean, I say they're the cream, right? But like Scorpio is the sauce. Gemini has Cancer in their second house. Libra has Scorpio in their second house. Libra representing social activism, agreements, law, is going to manifest psychoanalysis as an extension of Virgo's physiological analysis. So Libra manifests wisdom. Libra, with which is a superpower, okay? You have two super strengths in the zodiac. You have, of course, passionate super strength, Leo, in the form of courage, okay? The courage to feel the fear, but to still do it and have your heart out. Oh my God. I don't have Leo on my chart. I'm lacking in that swag. But then you have psychological super strength. Scorpio super strength is the super strength to get through the most intensely insane circumstances. Like you're being tortured. Like this is Scorpio super strength. We've been torturing you for 15 hours. And then that's just like, that's it? You know what I mean? Like that takes this inordinate amount of strength psychologically. That's Scorpio, right? It's pure energy. It's underground luxury. It's underground wealth. I'm loving this beef right here. Libra is fake Leo. Leo is jealous of Libra. Get the fuck out of here. See, diet Sag. This is the thing. Virgo is diet Scorpio. Argue with your mom. But like, is Libra diet Sag? I've been arguing. I've been wondering, is Libra diet Sag? We're gonna have to do a poll. I'm doing a poll on YouTube, guys. I feel like Libra is distinct enough in itself that it's its own sign, but I also feel like it could be diet Sagittarius. And I'm not entirely sure. Like Aquarius is not diet Aries. But is Libra diet Sag? We're gonna ask that. We need to see, because I love Libra. I'm very biased towards Libra, so I wouldn't have the heart to just call them diet Sagittarius. Virgo knows their diet Scorpio. Like Virgo is literally the diet. Virgo is literally gonna drink the sugar-free drink. Scorpio is that condensed, juicy, saucy stuff. Virgo is healthy. But we need to know. So I'm putting a poll up here. I've been dying to know. Is Libra diet Sagittarius? We need to know. Sagittarius actually looks up to Virgo. But if they have MC in Libra, Libra is Sagittarius's bestie. Okay. Libra is the social activism minion that all Sagittarians have. You have fake Libras. You're fake of every sign. But Libra is like the customer service sign. That's why I give compassion to Libra. If we have to have Virgo, we have to have Libra. Okay. Without Libra, we wouldn't have customer service. And like, we need to have one person who's like, hey, yes, I need to get my order back. Blah, blah, blah. Hey, yes, I'm sorry about that for your order. No, it's cool. Let's give you store credit. We have to have one of those motherfuckers in the team, because if we don't, we're not going to have the balance. We're not going to have the bridge. But people be forgetting that Libra is really more like Aries. Like, as much as Libra is classy, Libra is so classy that you forget they're so much like Aries. Aries is just so raw, and Libra is classy and filtered. But really, Libra is like a classy Aries. Sag plus Leo is cleaned up. That's crazy. Libra is diplomatic. Sag is blunt. I get that. So that's why I feel like Libra is distinct enough to where, we got a lot of Libras in the chat. They're like, no, we're not diet Sag. That's amazing. I didn't want to be the one to say that. So Markel, thank you for saying that. But I don't know. I personally don't know. Sag is wild as fuck. They're a wild card. Libra is like the chaos angel. Okay, I had this theory that was confirmed with me, right? So Libra does this thing where they're going to be like, guys, we can't just be beefing with each other. We need to have peace. Stop the violence. But Libra, you instigated this beef. You low-key started this war. Don't think we don't know. Libra's like, yo, Aries, did you hear what Virgo said about you? Yeah, Virgo was trying to help you out. They were like, you're just such a ruffian. You know what I mean? It's crazy. I'm sure they meant well by it, though. They would never hurt you. All right. Virgo, yeah. I spoke to Aries. Aries, I think they mean well, but they said they'd beat the shit out you. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be me, though. Like, I'd never do anything like that. And then they're like, Aries, Virgo, we can't be fighting like Libra. I wish I could get away with that shit. Ain't no way. You guys are some of Virgo and Libra, some of the nicest instigators ever. Okay. I don't know if Nicki Minaj is Libra moon, but Cardi B is different because she's Aries moon. All right, Cardi's like that. That's the thing. I don't know Cardi B, but from the small I've seen, she's Aries at her core. She a warrior at her core, so she can balance it. But like Libra, y'all be instigating. I know y'all gonna be denying it in the chat. I look at you like chaos angels. Like you're taking credit. Libra said that's Sagittarius, bro. No, I at least respect Sagittarius. Sagittarius will openly instigate. Sagittarius will not hide the fact that they're instigating. They're shameless. Okay, they will show you, and they will actively seek out chaos like an Adam 22, who he knows and we know he is stirring up gang beef. Like, there's nothing coy about it, but I feel like Libra be trying to act like, no, I would never do that. Like, Sagittarius will deny it, but we know and they know what they're doing. Libra, I feel like you be trying to like, I don't know. That's a superstition. I'm not going to put that on you because this is the sign of activism and truces and peace. Okay, y'all would never do that. I have a theory. I want to open up about Scorpio theory. I've never really opened up about Scorpio theory because it's highly controversial. But I do feel like Scorpio theory starts with Libra. In order to make sense of Scorpio theory, right? I have this secret theory that at some level, all Libras are kind of low-key evil, and they're so intelligent that they're gonna get away with it every time. So like my whole theory is that Libra ruled by the goddess of beauty. I've never met a Libra I've never met a single Libra that isn't intelligent as fuck, talented as fuck, and like scientifically beautiful, like symmetrical, like they have this charm. And if the goddess of beauty ruled you, like you're going to just be charming. You know what I'm saying? So my theory, which if you think about it is a little dumb, but I stand on it. I don't believe that you could be intelligent as fuck, talented as fuck, and charming as fuck, and not a little evil. And not a little, and like you don't take advantage of that. You get what I'm saying? Like this is what brings corruption in law and the government, right? Like if Usher went on tour or Bruno Mars went on tour in his prime, and then he comes home and he's like, I didn't cheat on you once, darling. And it's just like, wait, all those women throwing themselves at you, you didn't smash one of them away. Oh, what? That's how I feel about Libra. It's like, if Libra was a super evil villain, most people to Libra are so stupid. There's no way you're not getting away with that. So it's like a balance. You know what I'm saying? Like if Libra was evil, who would know? And that I apply to the rest of the zodiac. Then Scorpio, we go intensified. Like Scorpio is just super intelligent and like they secretly mind control people. And then by the time you get to Aquarius of evil genius, they're like, so that's like my conspiracy theory. I'll make an official video about it. The only thing is that the other 6 zodiac signs gaslighted the first 6. Basically, that theory is that the first 6 zodiac signs are actually genuinely good, representing childhood up until young adulthood, and that it's society and older people who corrupt younger people. And so it's the last 6 are evil and the first 6 are good. But when we presented that theory, the last 6 zodiac signs, Libra, Scorpio, Sag, Capricorn, Aqua, and Pisces were like, no, Aries is evil. Taurus is evil. Like if you ask the other 6 zodiac signs, they're going to tell you, no, it's Virgo, right? And then they have more resources. So they're going to bring their peer-reviewed research to actually be like, actually, so like that, the odds are stacked against me, but I'm trying to use the theory to kind of connect Aries, Taurus, Gemini. Like if you were to ask Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, in fact, this is your homework. This is your homework. Go and find an Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Virgo, or Leo. All right. And be like, is any of the last 6 evil? And they'll tell you, yeah, they could be like, just do that. I want to kind of have our little group to where I can kind of like pit them against the other 6. It's my magnum opus for space racism that I've been working on. But the grand water trine, I got very sidetracked, that we're having for Libra, who's totally not evil, is that, of course, right? Scorpio is your second house of finances. So you're transforming this psychoanalytical depth of understanding around your worth, what your net worth is, and how you manifest. Now, like I will keep saying for Libra risings especially, okay, you are unlocking your dream life. Go argue with your mom about it. I don't even have Libra in my chart. It's an audacity for me to be telling you what's happening in your lifestyle. You're social. You actually be outside. There's no way I'd know. But I do have the idea that you since 2023 have been putting in the construction to build your dream life. And since last year with the North Node going into Pisces, you have been actively unlocking your dream life. So of course, yes, space racism. Okay. Thank you so much, Amanda. So basically, right, like since March of this year to September of this year, you have imagineered your dream life. Before September, I was talking about it as something active in process. As of now, you've completed it. Well, as of now, you're on the final stage of breakthrough for that. So this is, of course, completing the establishment of your dream life, relative to you actively now manifesting the security and transforming your wealth. So Mercury, that's going to retrograde back into Scorpio, right, is of course you seeing I'm rich, especially with Jupiter that is completing the evolution cycle you started since 2017 with Jupiter in Libra, and it's expanding your feeling of what success is. This grand water trine is going to add this cohesion and flow of how you do this. Now, is of how you form your lifestyle and through your dream life really break through. Now, do I think Aquarius is the definition of evil? Absolutely not. I think Aquarius is evil genius. Don't forget the genius after the evil. Aquarius redefined and made you believe the lie was the truth, so you wouldn't see them as bad. Okay. I feel like evil starts at Libra, because what Libra represents is the balance of your own character towards others. So at any point with which that balance is unbalanced, that Libra, which is the application of your behavioral patterns, any deviation in your behavior or pathologies, the unbalancing of those scales opens the door to evil. So evil is Libra in its unbalanced state. And when Libra is balanced, and I mean Libra as a principle, not people, but when Libra is balanced, that's when you're the superhero. That's when you fight for the rights of the people and don't take advantage of that. And that's when you apply justice, because Libra is justice. So my whole Scorpio theory is, what if justice is compromised? Then Capricorn of integrity and order becomes the great evil, the devil, who controls and manipulates and makes everyone as slaves. So I'll eventually do case study on that. And I want to write a book called The Science of Evil. And what motivated me to do that is because evil has been seen in this religious lens that we blame the devil for. And I truly believe that there's a science to evil. And I'll have to go back to all the research that's already been done, peer reviewed or not. And I do want to write that book. And then Pisces is beyond evil. It's no longer evil. No one knows what the fuck that is. This is whatever. But Aries, genuinely good person. Taurus, like Aries is selfish as fuck, genuinely good person. Taurus is might be stubborn, genuinely good person. Gemini, we crazy, genuinely good people. Like who is Kanye West hurt? Like Ye has said some hurtful, crazy things, but who is he really hurt, right? Cancer, yeah, they might be the highest percentage of murderers by passion, not premeditated, but genuinely good people. Okay, Leo, narcissistic as fuck, genuinely good people. Okay, Virgo, critical as fuck, genuinely good people. I feel like Virgo is who you think Scorpio is. Okay, Libra, Scorpio, come on, we know Scorpio, period. Sagittarius, they're a wild card. They're evil when they feel like it. They're good when they feel like it. Capricorn, you low-key the devil. Aquarius, you know too much. You know too much. Pisces, we're not even going to say anything. And that's a very, very screwed up theory. But I rock with it. It makes us good. It makes the first 6 zodiac signs look good. So I love it. I'm going to see what kind of confirmation bias I can build on that. And then I'll write my book. But other than that, Libra, I think this is preparing you for Saturn and Neptune. This new world order is going to be expressed for you through this new era of partnerships. You're reimagining your life relative to the standards you'll raise in partnerships. But as now you're raising the standards of how you live your life and how you form your dream life with Neptune, especially, which you'll integrate with people. And so Jupiter retrograding into your 10th house this season is putting yourself in a position to realistically like reevaluate what more you feel you can accomplish and what more you feel you can do to accomplish your goals. And that's where, since the conjunction we had in July that activated, or late June, don't ask me what that is. since we activated this Jupiter cycle, okay, this is the first point of liquidity with which you're becoming aware of, ooh, my dream life is not only like we getting paid. Now, Libra, I consider you always to be rich, even when you're broke. Like, I feel like y'all gets money. But that being said, right, I think this is going to be really good financially for you. I think the whole point of this is not just finances. Uranus and Taurus in the eighth has what made me think that you guys are the most intelligent when it comes to cryptocurrency and unconventional investments of security. So the new moon that we're going to have at the end of Scorpio, opposite Uranus 29 degrees, I think is going to be some of the most rewarding returns on investments since late May, specifically May 27th. No, that's not true. May 17th. Since May 17th. Yes, love, you did miss Gemini, but I will keep this available for you. Okay. So that being said, I think that return on investment, Libra, is going to be phenomenal. Phenomenal. Okay. If you think about, I want you to go back to what you invested in. The analogy I have for Libra concerning that is that if Libra has the sauce, that's like your own oil. And I learned from a documentary about Che Guevara, or one of these revolutionary leaders, who kicked out all the scientists from their country. And because they did that, they weren't able to use most of the oil because they didn't have the knowledge or the scientists to really shift the oil they had. And that made me think of Aquarius as the in-between from Scorpio to Taurus, oil to now natural consumption, right? So I looked at your second house Scorpio as the oil you have underground, and then the eighth house Taurus as you through Aquarius of course, tweaking it, taking the oil you have and investing it in Chevron, investing it in Valero, and then you get dividends every month because that's your oil that they're buying from you, right? Think of that analogy. So let's say since 2018, the game transformed around how you invest in these gas stations. And now this is the final return of investment since May 17th that is putting you in a position to come into the most unconventional windfalls of income. That's what the end of this Scorpio season looks like to me, like November 20th, November 18th, around that period. Now, with Mercury going into Sagittarius, the land of Sagittarianism, and Mars going through here, Libra to me are artists, and third house Sagittarius is like listening to Will Smith, right? Like every Libra knows how to paint with their words. It's not like Gemini where we could just be talking. Like, you know how to create a scene and a vision. And I would presume that your mindset is bigger picture. You know how to, in fact, if we're going to keep it a buck, third house Sagittarius means you have supernatural abilities on a godlike level. So like you Libras a bit, especially for Libra risings, right? It's like you can see the future, right? Not like Sagittarius that embodies the visionary, but like third house Sagittarius is the ability to look at different perspectives, see the higher vision of a perspective. But to me, that looks like God level abilities. And Mercury that's going to retrograde there is not just going to reevaluate this, but because Uranus over the rest of the decade is going to go in your ninth house, it's going to innovate what Jupiter expanded last year and translate unconventional facets of your philosophical approach towards how instantly you can show people what it means. All right. So I think that's going to color very interestingly, not just your mindset, which what does that do? It shifts back into your dream life and how you are constructing belief systems that shape your lifestyle, that shape your behavioral patterns. Sixth house Pisces. Jargon, blah, 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 jargon. I can imagine some people listening to me like jargon. Neptune, blah, blah, jargon. Blah, blah, blah. I talk about the stars and I barely know about it. I feel like some of you hear me like that, but it's cool. I don't care. Learn your chart rule. That being said, okay, you're going to quickly pick up the game And then next week, Mars is going to cross this point, and you're going to start to, I think, experiment with what you're beginning to see, especially as it relates with other people. Venus is in your sign, so you have this classic beauty you're developing, and the opposition of Chiron in the seventh house, I think, is going to challenge the nature of relationships that you are triggering other people. By the way, I don't think Libras have told you. Leo third house are social skills. So if you have Leo, Virgo, Scorpio, Libra in the third, you have social skills. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. But yeah, Leo's pretty cool in that regard. So with that being said, right? This nature of course, the retrograde coming back into your second is going to be showing you how much more potential you have to make. But Libras haven't been telling you, they trigger the fuck out of people. So Libra, can you confirm this is still true for me? Because I'm not sure. Like Leo has Pluto opposite them, so that could look like a lot more people are just extremely reactive towards them and possibly hate them for no reason. But like I feel like with Chiron opposite the Libra sun or in the sevens, you're triggering the shit out of people. And there might not necessarily be a grounded reason as to why people react to you instinctually. That's vague enough to apply to as much as it can. It could also represent healing. It's like you're triggering inauthenticity in people to heal and bring out more authenticity. But if they're sensitive as fuck, they're going to point the finger at you. Oh, you think you're too smart and you know everything. And really it's just no. The words I use are tricky for you. And now people are like, what the fuck? It's cool. It's cool. If you let me know if you caught that. But that being said, you know what I mean? I think with Venus, that's going to polish this out. When Venus goes through your sign, it beautifies you. You're a lot more attractive, theoretically. And of course, as this will go into Scorpio, this is going to make you even more rich, ideally. Okay, it's going to link with this grand water trine. And I think it's great to kind of, especially for Libra risings, remake your appearance and then step more and polish more your investments, your finances, and how much deeper you tap into them. Okay. So we'll close out Libra early here, and we'll finally get to Diabol Aquarius. Okay. So as you know, and thank you for your patience, Aquarius. As you know, I have been talking somewhat of some conspiracy theories about Aquarius. I've been ranting on these crazy conspiracy theories about how Aquarius people are actually supernatural aliens from another species outside of the solar system who infiltrated humanity like Viltrumites and have been planning to colonize our humanity for ages now, but they just lie dormant during certain phases. And the last time they awakened was the 1700s. And now with Pluto, they're awakening again, and they're going to awaken all their supernatural abilities that they have left dormant and just take us over. And I just want to apologize for putting out that narrative out there, because I feel like that's just irresponsible. And Aquarians are humans just like us. Aquarians are human beings just like us who make mistakes just like us. And I totally didn't get threatened in a dream space, forcing me to change up my tune or something crazy is going to happen to me, because this is coming just directly from my heart. And like Aquarius is, you know, they know just as much as us. Like they research information like us. It's not like they're these supernatural humanitarians that just have this collective mind hype and just telepathically talk to each other and make fun of the rest of us as being foolish mortals because they're supreme alien intelligences. That would never happen, right? So like, I think this Scorpio season is going to be very amazing, because Scorpio for you is your 10th house of career success. Knowledge is completed by wisdom is the whole psychology around that, right? It's not like they can telepathically scan your mind, but are genius enough to still integrate conversations with you while they're actively hearing what you're thinking or reading body language really fast in a way that looks like psychic ability, but is just an unreasonably fast brain processor. That's just preposterous. I mean, we might as well just delve into science fiction. So, I mean, relative to, of course, previously last year's January, last year during Aquarius season, you are completing, of course, this cycle. And now the grand water trine, all right, that you are stepping into for you, we have Neptune and Saturn in your second house. And I said some nonsense around that, meaning that you can literally put your hand in an imagination cloud and manifest what you're imagining real time. Like, could you imagine if you can just imagine something and your entire reality starts to warp? I mean, you might as well just be a god, a celestial god at that level. Could you imagine if you had such a total control over your belief around what you're worth that you imagine it and you instantly have it? I mean, that would literally be supernatural. But Jupiter through your sixth is now tying this evolution cycle that you started 2021, and it is evolving what more you can do and how much more you feel you can accomplish day to day in your lifestyle. What's this flow? What's this flow and ease of efficiency that you know to feel and apply? What kind of work feels good? For some of you, that's not working, right? It's clearing up more of your lifestyle. And now Scorpio is completing this grand water trine. Mercury and Mars, of course, have head forward, and Sagittarius is your 11th house of rewards and circle of friends. So I think it's going to start to show you what you have accomplished before Mercury retrogrades. And then you're going to be transforming this understanding, this psychoanalytical understanding of current goals you've made since last year and what you have broken through to achieve. Remember, the Pluto squares that we're having to the sun is relative to this awakening, this knowledge of self. And it's nice to see Aquarians awakening more to who they've always been. Genius, even genius. I mean, geniuses that are clearly pushing humanity forward. And that's actually not a joke. But that being said, you feel me? Every Scorpio season for the next 20 years is going to break you through more into transforming society and really breaking through more into success. My theory about the Aquarius sun is cosmic awareness, which I think in retrospect is just such a crazy theory. I have these crazy Geminian ideas. I don't even have any planets in Aquarius. Like, I've always believed, as of recent, that the Aquarius sun has the ability to be aware of phenomena happening in the cosmos out of this solar system, because we're in the solar system. I recently learned that. I'm that slow. Like, I didn't realize we were in the solar system, like your cells are in your body, right? I still don't have an idea of that. So, like, Aquarius can be aware of what's happening out of this world, cosmic awareness. Like, I really believe that. And then the Aquarius moon can feel it. And then the Aqua rising is high nobility. I mean, that's just so crazy. Could you imagine if an Aquarius sun can actually look at IA Atlas right now? But that being said, Pluto's awakening it. And I think if that doesn't scream sleeper cell 8, I mean, if that doesn't scream humanitarian awakening, I don't know what else does. All right. So this is going to crown these achievements. And I think what's also amazing about that, with Mercury that's going to go into Sag, its opposition to Uranus in your fifth has been unconventionally innovating your creativity. So if you think Aquarius is the mind of God, if we think of God as a universal mind, if we think of God as rather a universal force or universal entity that is both transcendent and immanent, then the mind, the universal mind, is going to be this collective Aquarius. So the word that comes from this mind is expressed through Gemini before Libra bridges these individual thoughts collective socially, that leads back collectively to Aquarius. So Jupiter last year expanded what more you can say and how much more creatively you say it. Saturn and Neptune in Aries is constructing this alien language, this original alien language, this attitude, this originality in your mindset. And so with Uranus, that is diabolically, ingeniously innovating your creativity, I think your ability to get a sneak peek, like a Kickstarter campaign, to show people, hey, we about to be on your ass next year. We're about to illuminate and enlighten you all next year. I'm sorry, I thought of something. Don't mind me. This is so amazing. Thank God I'm not on your bad side. So, there we go. And I think, that I know of. And I think that's going to be amazing. I think it's going to begin to change the way you even communicate with friends. You're going to start to see who's in your corner and who's just an opportunist. But then as Mars goes over this Uranus space in Gemini, it's going to really shift unconventionally the way you take action. And all of this will be more aware when we enter Sagittarius season. But I think it's definitely going to begin to change again. Like this Mercury opposition, it's one of the coolest oppositions we're having right now. Mercury opposition to Uranus and Mars opposition to Uranus. I make sure to keep everything at a basic astrology level. I don't even really study anything outside the 7 personal aspects. That's why I like to give credit to actual astrologers that do study more of the advanced natures of this craft and the intermediate. I like to keep, my whole goal is to master the basics so well I can explain it to children. I want to be like the open door that refers you to higher advanced arts, right? I want to be like the general sciences guy that like kind of let you know, hey, this shit is actually real. It is? Yeah, no, peep game. It's actually real. If you want to know more about it, you go, this guy, this lady specializes in this. But I want the basics to be colloquial. So I've just been focusing on that. But that being said, yeah, children's books about astrology. I want to collab with certain Cancer male individual who's already making, he has the Little Crab series. Pretty fucking awesome. But yeah, that being said, y'all, this, I think, at the universal level is not only going to shift this, but because this is transforming what you will increasingly see is possible for you to achieve, the retrograde of Uranus back into Taurus is this reevaluation of where you landed your spaceship for the impending invasion. For the impending humanitarian crusade, so that we can all be free and liberated. One thing about Aquarius that I think people may not understand, Aquarius is willing to be the villain that the people need so that the people could be liberated. I don't know if Epstein is 0 degrees Aquarius or 29 degrees Capricorn, unless they're that kind of Aquarius. But like that being said, right? Like Aquarius is willing to like be that revolutionary impulse. And if they have to dip to the dark side in order to go against the rules, they'll do it for the long-term benefit of the people. That's kind of that type of energy. It's outside the rules. Aquarius is like the frequency. And then, of course, Pisces is the vibration that this frequency produces. Okay. So yeah. I think similar to Libra, that this is going to be an amazing return of investment. I think for you, Aquarius, this might reinnovate the foundation that changes your approach towards success versus next year where you're breaking through this new original alien language. It pushes you forward to now achieve success during a new era. A great example of Aquarius that I like to use moving forward is Jess Hilarious. If you think that Aquarius is one of the four fixtures, the four fixed signs, right? Her position in the Breakfast Club is like a fixture. And I think it's a coming of age. I think it's a sign of the times, right? A generational fixture. Ideally, she'll be in that position for years. Not that she can't do other stuff, but that's kind of like a Aquarian archetype. I mean, it's vague to say it's the Aquarian archetype, but that whole quality of fixtures, which if you even look, right, broadcasting news that's real, but from an alien perspective, that's just clouding human behavior. That's a form of comedy to me. Capricorn comedy is dry. Aquarius comedy is over your fucking head. But that being said, yeah, that's what we have for the air signs. Once again, Jess Hilarious is Jess, Jess Hilarious is a comedian. For Jody. So that being said, yeah, check her out. They're really, me and my friend, we saw her when she came out to Vegas. I got to see her do stand up. But that being said, guys, if you'd like to take advantage of this 30% off sale, please do so. Okay. And I will catch you guys tomorrow. All right. Where we're gonna break this down for the water signs. Who may or may not be collectively planning to flood the whole world. Anyway, see you guys.